Nigerians have better music. Actually, they stole a dance move from South Africans. As a Jamaican person, I'm offended if someone calls me African. In fact, that is a twerking move that you guys stole from us. Black Americans invented braids and cornrows. And it goes on and on and on. I'm sure these are some of the things that you have seen on the internet whenever there's another diaspora war that happens every 2 to 3 business days. Actually, it's more like an annual thing right now where there's like a huge thing that happens every year and all the black people around the world come together not to unite but to fight for the masters, of course, because who really is the enemy here? Anyway, I hope I stopped you from writing that paragraph. Let's finally get this diaspora wars to die out, because there is no way in 2024 we as black people around the world are still arguing and fighting about who is the better black person, because at the end of the day we have one common enemy. If we really go to the core of these diaspora wars, sorry, I'm probably gonna sound like I'm saying walls instead of wars. English is not my first language, but the root is white supremacy. That is the root of the problem, because at the end of the day, we were all stripped of our identity. So one of the main reasons why these diaspora wars even happen in the first place, which have not started just now, by the way, this has been happening for decades, it is because of the anti-blackness that has been engraved within our DNA, this self-hatred that we have. And I'm going to be using the word we because I'm not about to be like, I'm better. No. I'm including myself in this conversation, because we have this anti-blackness that is within our own little countries, right? With not even coming to the diaspora. It's like we not even reached there yet, but like within our own cultures and nations, wherever you are, with that be in London, that be in Zimbabwe, wherever you are, in Kenya, in America, Canada. Within our own communities, there's anti-blackness that we have against each other. And I've also seen an underlying texturism, where some African girlies who have looser curled hair, kind of like this wig right now, they'll be making their own videos, but then people are like, oh, then you must be, there's no way you're African, you have to be American, you have to be Black American, as if that's like that's like a compliment. Like, you can't just be fully African, like you have to be mixed with something, because people just can't believe how diverse Black people are, or even in Africa, people are so diverse there. And that is part of the anti-blackness that we have within ourselves. I remember this girl, I forgot her name, but the internet definitely dragged her off the internet when she came online and said that this is my natural hair. Let me try find the video.
Hey y'all, so I'm trying to learn how to wear my natural hair untouched. This is how it looked when I woke up. Y'all was talking about all type of moisturizing, gel, this, that. I have product in my hair, dude. The hair is very moisturized, bitch. This is just how the hair look. That's what I don't want to run from anymore. This is what the hair want to do, so I have to let it do what it want to do. I want to learn to wear it completely shrunk. I don't want to stretch it. The hair is not meant to be long, will never be long. And it's time society came to terms with that. How you gonna tell me how I was born is ugly? Like, stop fucking playing with me. Anyway, it's a struggle, bitch. I'm fucking struggling. You gonna see, bitch. Like, I'm struggling to accept how it looks so bad.
Like, the majority of people that were making her feel like she's not beautiful for just wearing her hair as it is were other Black people. And that is the problem. So already in our own countries, we already have the anti-blackness, and now we then fight against each other, because in as much as we are fighting against each other in our own countries, we then have this absolute nationalism weird vibes where it's like, my country is the best, and then that transforms into xenophobia, Afrophobia, just treating each other so bad, forgetting that we were literally just one continent living in peace. Not living in peace, I put that in quotation marks. There was always been wars, even before colonialism, right? Tribalism, all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't as bad, we can't even compare it to. But before that, before they cut up Africa into parts, you take that, France, you take that, UK, you take that. We were all like just pretty much living with each other, and now suddenly we have this divide, this division, that's, including Jamaicans in the other islands, Caribbeans, the people in the UK, America, all those all of us black people, all of a sudden, we have this enmity against each other. We already have that in our own countries. And now it's manifesting into who is the better black in the world, right? Who is better at being black in the world? There has never been a time where access to everyone has been available for everyone, especially with music. That's really has been the pinpoint of most of these fights, these wars, because we can't actualize the fact that we were all from one continent with shared ideas. Like, we have not yet comprehended that, because I was watching this video of this girl. I'm gonna put it right here, and also some Amanda Seals Small Doses YouTube channel, and she was talking to this lady about the things that we have in common with each other, and it's incredible how much things we have in common, but we're always like focused on the things that we don't. It's so weird, like especially like the twerking. I'm gonna call it twerking, but like it's basically shaking ass. All of us, wherever we are, we have some type of shaking ass. It might be different, a little bit here and there, a little bit here and there, but at the end of the day, it's shaking ass, and it is invented by black people. I'm not gonna be like it's this because at the end, going back to the root of it, before they stepped on our continent, it belonged to us, right? And I mean us by, if you're black, us, right? So it's things like that where obviously there'll be endless fights, because at the end of the day, we were one. So they'll always be like, oh no, we came up with this hairstyle. Oh, no. we won. We all came. You see how I can't even explain it, because it's like, it doesn't even make sense to even fight about half the things that we fight about. Anyway, I digress. I just wanted to comment on 2 examples of how this anti-blackness is manifested within the diaspora wars. The first one that I just saw recently was a lot of Black American women were talking about going to the Salon, an African-owned salon, and then they were describing it as the Africans.
I just want to say, if we can't say the Africans did my braids, then you all can no longer use the N-word.
And when I first saw this on my For You page, I felt a way about it. I was like, I don't like how she's saying that, how they sound when they say the Africans, so I saw in the comments some other African people were like, no, we don't really like that. It's a bit rude. Can you like say it this way, an African shop, or this, or say the actual nationality of the person. The other people are like, yeah, but the ladies there, they don't wanna, the aunties there, they don't mind. They also like don't care. And we've always said the Africans, that's how we describe it, because the shop is written the Africans, stuff like that. And it was like a lot of invalidating things where it's like, well, the majority of people that are of our age, Generation Z and millennials, are telling you, like, don't, like, the aunties are not gonna know the right English, or they're not gonna really argue with you of what to call them, what not to call them. Like, they're not really gonna do that. But like, we as a generation who is quote unquote woke, we know when something is being said of good intentions. Like, please don't say that. But there's a lot of invalidating, and it felt like because it's coming from African people, it's not regarded, it's not taken seriously as serious, where we as African people have always been I have, when it comes to cultural appropriation, whenever Black Americans are like, that is cultural appropriation, in as much as it, in my head as an African person who is coming from a majority, if I see a white person, if I say this person wearing braids in Zimbabwe, I would not care. I would not think that they are trying to steal my culture. I will not lose sleep. But because I know that Black Americans are the minority, and braids are not just braids for them, there is a significant cultural reference to why they wear braids, and also they are not acceptable in workspaces, all that kind of stuff that comes with it. I understand why a Black American would not be comfortable seeing a person wearing braids. Like, I get it, and I would support it, and I 100% agree with it. So that is the respect. The African people, African people just want that mutual respect, where it's like, you might not get it, but like put yourself in our shoes, you know, and then you might, you know, start to understand the invalidating. That's where it becomes a bit crazy, because I saw some people saying like, oh, then now you can't say the N-word. They were saying that, like, oh, since we can't say the Africans, so now you can't say the N-word. Like, that's not how anything works, you know. Like, what even is that argument, actually? And then switching on to the other side, there are some African people who come online and tell Black Americans that they have no culture, they don't know where they're from, all that horrid things to say to a people that were literally stolen. Like, you know their history, why would you say that? You know, it's giving you don't think, you don't have common sense. And it's also definitely anti-Black from the Africans to not recognize Black Americans' impact on the world, basically, or to recognize their culture, or just see it as something just mainstream. They gatekeep their culture because it's taken from them, made mainstream. People don't respect it. People don't even know where it comes from, right? And you know, they're pretty much played in their faces, and after that, it's the people that are not from that community who get to win and benefit from it, right? And then people don't want to call it culture, but like, you can clearly see that someone's taking something that doesn't belong to them. You know what I'm saying? It's like me wearing like clothes that a Hindu woman would wear, and then be like, I came up with that. That's so weird. Like, it will be so clearly like, that's not your culture. Like, girl, that's not your culture. But like, people take, you know, like hip hop, people take how they dress, how they speak, what they eat, you know, take it and then pretend that it's theirs, make it mainstream, make money of it, but they don't get anything in return. And us as Africans, we need to recognize that, and also understand that culture can be defined differently. It's not like how we think culture is. I didn't understand this at first, but like, the way we define culture is like, for example, I'm Zimbabwe. Like, when you're about to get married, there's this thing called rora, right, or lobola, right, where my husband has to, you know, pay to, you know, with cows and all that kind of stuff. That is like culture to us, you know. Or there is some sort of event, you have to wear certain type of clothes, you have to put something over your head. There's certain things like that we don't practice every single day, that we're living like every single day. You, as a Zimbabwean person, you wouldn't really say Millie Mill is culture, because it's just something that we do. Culture in our definition would be something that is practiced at a sacred time, you know, more like tradition, you know, all that kind of stuff. But within a Black American context, correct me if I'm wrong, it's their way of life. They do it every time. It's not like there's a day for twerking, you know, like you know, I don't know because there's like cultural dances that we do at specific events, or for example at a funeral there's specific food, there's certain cow that's gonna be slaughtered, that's part of our culture. I don't think in Black American culture they are necessarily playing, I don't know, hip hop at a certain date, you know, but it's just part of their everyday, you know, lifestyle, if I should say. But it's all part of their culture because they do it, you know, repeatedly, but not necessarily the way that we do it. I just wanted to add some of the things that are of African American culture, which is AAV, how they speak. It's also called Gula, and I also heard about Kurivini. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. And also their music genres, their fashion, their art, also HBCUs, also popular clothing and nails. All that is culture, but just because they don't perform it the way we perform culture, what we know as culture, does not dismiss the fact that it is culture. Because when I was listening to this video that I'm about to play, some of the comments were saying, yeah, but you still didn't mention what the culture is, because some people are still expecting them to say like, oh yeah, there's a specific date when someone gets married where we're gonna play jazz music. It seems like that's what they think is what culture is, you know, for everyone else in the world, but that's just not how it works.
What would you guys consider African American culture? Because I feel like that's a thing that people always talk about. Black people don't have no culture. African American people don't have no culture. But you guys do have a culture.
It's American culture.
Yes, it's everywhere. Black culture is the most stolen culture in the world.
Facts.
You can see it. You can see it across the board. Kim Kardashian got a whole brand built around black culture. Let's be honest. The only reason why Twitter is a successful platform, or Instagram, or any of these social media
Black
platforms,
Twitter.
they're all
Black,
they're all driven by black culture.
So
Black
what
culture
is that? What is that? Like, what does that look like? I'm
It's
just
American
curious.
pop culture. Let's look at Burna Boy, for example. When is there
Yeah.
any
Ooh,
time?
I'm gonna shake the table.
When is there any other time in Africa to wear Timberlands?
That's New
Speak
York.
on it, because that's been a
East
big
side.
topic online.
Yes.
He dressed like he's from where?
East side New York.
Exactly.
Funny, and it's funny about Burna Boy, and hey, I love Burna Boy's music. I've been to a lot of concerts. Burna Boy, hey, I love him. But the truth is, Burna Boy has slandered black culture, but at the same time, you are mixing all your songs over R&B
Black American
beats.
music. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes to show you that black culture is still a very prevalent thing. Black culture is not just the story of what black culture is in the South, because that looks totally different in East Harlem or New York. That's a total different black experience, but all of that is still in itself blackness.
Oh,
So look
I
at it
love
like-
that.
look at-
Calvin, you just made a powerful point about like black culture kind of being like tribes, like depending
Yeah,
on
so-
where you are.
The
from,
South.
where
So you
you're
got the
from.
South. Everybody know, Southern hospitality.
Yes.
New York, grimy, rude.
I don't know about
very.
real. Just real.
Man,
Real rude.
anybody, I don't trust nobody.
Real rude. No good morning. No how are you?
West Coast, they're more laid back because they got Southern roots. Because most of my family, they're in Oakland in the Bay Area during the World War II era.
I love
People do the mass migration. You got your family from the South that moved to the get the World War II jobs and stuff like that.
You feel like
It's just so helpful. It really is. So if you're a Black American, please explain to me more, like what, if you guys have specific days where you perform this ritual, because I'm not sure that's how it is there, but overall I definitely know that your culture includes how you do your hair, how you speak, going to the salon. Like I know that that's like part of your culture, which is just a different view to how someone from Africa would view what culture is. But at the end of the day, it is valid and it is definitely a culture. Now, circling back, a lot of people have hurt and it comes out, it's not healed, it comes out whenever this conversation start up. So you release just word vomit of the things that have hurt you, and I completely understand. Like I was watching videos of some ladies, talking about how they were called African booty scratcher, when they were growing up in America, they're really like made to feel like dust, like dirt, being from Africa, and they really have held on to that, vice versa, someone from Jamaica growing up somewhere else in the UK, how they've been treated by other black people there as well. In France, it happens everywhere. We've hurt each other, and I think you really need to just really understand that they really did not know what they were saying. It was just the root cause making them say that, because you would watch on TV, this propaganda of making you feel like Africans are less than, all that kind of stuff, which made you feel like you are better than an African person, so therefore make fun of them. So we really need to tackle that individually and be like, this is why this happened, and I need to forgive. I need to forgive my brother and sister, because the longer I keep on this hurt, the more they are winning. The more they are winning. And what we want to do is win, right? And also asking yourself questions, like really important questions, as I said in the beginning of the video, like especially like to Africans. Not talking about the whole, like, do you ride a cow to school or something like that weird stuff, like, no. But when they do talk about like the huts and stuff, why do you feel offended about the huts? Like, the architecture in Africa is amazing. It's diverse. There's not huts everywhere. It's absolutely amazing. Good constructive work. Very sustainable. It's cool in summer. It's warm in winter. I've lived in a hut as well. My aunt has a hut, and I every time I go to Zim, we go there. Right? I love it. It's such a communal thing. It brings so much people together. It's amazing, right? But why, as an African person, do you feel like you need to show pictures of like Cape Town to prove that, you know, you are better, you are good, you are better than other African countries? Why do you feel the need to do that, to show your best cities, your roads, you know, like why do it's again the European standards? Again, it's in beauty, it's in everything, right? It's in everything, trying to be, you know, more developed and all that kind of stuff. But like, what's wrong with hats? What's wrong with your culture? What's wrong with how your country is? I know there's many like political reasons, like we're not talking about that, but we're just talking about the Africanness of us. Like, what's wrong with that? And as a Black American person, you can ask yourself, like, why is it when you call someone mistakenly calls you African American, why do you get offended by that African term? Why do you want to be disassociated with it? You have to ask yourself those deep questions. Why do you feel offended when someone says, oh, you've gotten darker, you've definitely gotten tan? Like, why does it like make you feel uncomfortable? You know, I don't know, but those are some of the things that we just need to ask ourselves. And yeah, see how I didn't say like go to therapy, because like, does anyone actually really go? Like it's expensive. Like, do y'all have that money to do that? But like, you can just literally go to the beach, just look out and just really think about these things, you know? And before you jump on the internet and type in, oh, y'all stole this dance move, all this and this and that, like, let's try to think of the things that we have in common, which are just like so many. Actually, let's play this entire video because it's quite shocking.
Backed by super popular demand, Death to Diaspora Wars Part 3. Again, if you are non-Black, here is the Venmo and Cash App. If you are Black, we got some ground rules that we need to just cover. First is there's a whole lot of us. I can't go through 11 countries in every single presentation. I'm going to try to cover the regions at best, but every single country, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, okay? Second is, I know a lot, but I don't know everything. And this is where y'all come in. I might not be able to cover every single aspect of every single country and culture, but y'all can comment that in the comments. Let me know where a connection makes sense. Let me know how to pronounce something. Third is home training. Act like you have it. Part 3 is going to delve deeper into food. So again, jollof rice and jambalaya. I already said I'm not playing with y'all. Okay, it's nothing to like. Pull up the recipe. Pull up the receipts. You're telling me these dishes are nothing like jollof, tabujan, gullah red rice, jambalaya. Nothing to like. Okay, again, I'm not playing with y'all. Moving on, we are going to talk about gumbo or gombo. This is the same dish. This is dead as 3 pictures of different dishes, but this is the same dish. Gombo refers to okra, right? So we've got sauce gombo, super kanja, sauce kope, gumbo. This is literally, I mean, like, you could just look at it and see that's the same dish. Stew and smother. Now, I know I talked about stew last time, right? Because one thing we're going to do is put some meat in a pot and stew that shit up. But I learned the cooking technique where you fry some meat a little bit, and then put it in the stew, put it in some sauce, is a West African cooking technique. And we see this all across the diaspora. I love me some smothered chicken. Okay, that shit hit. You know the white folk didn't know what to do with rice. Okay, that's why they got us in the first place. We got diri kolek poa, we got wache, we got moro, we got rice and peas. You see these 2 dishes? They not even the same, but they the same. They're siblings. Feijoada and red beans and rice. This is just a light-skinned version of this one. Steaming greens. Now, I already talked about this, but I just have to tell y'all. This is the Caribbean. East Africa. We don't talk about East Africa a lot, but hello. I know how these taste just by looking at them. Talking about all this food, we need something to wash it down. We need a drink. And one thing I love is Jamaica. I love a Jamaica, but you don't only have to get that shit in Latin America or the Caribbean. You can get that in West Africa. Get you some pizza. You can always get a horchata. Yeah, we had that too. You thought this was Spain's? No. There's one thing about Spain. They're going to take something. And they got this shit from North Africa. And in modern day Mali, Nigeria. Tiger nut milk. You can find this in West Africa. Kunu aya. And there's horchata with rice. There's horchata with sesame seeds. Horchata with moro. With that, whatever that is. And we need a dessert. You feel me? We need a dessert. Now, can we find rice pudding in Asia? Is that where it originated? Yeah. But making its way over here to the Western Hemisphere. African slave trade. All right, one thing I love is arroz con leche. You can find that shit in West Africa. You can also find a couscous version, chakari, in Senegal. We got fried fritters. We love frying shit. What can we say? Kara in West Africa and a carajé in Brazil, and that is black eyed peas, right? But here, you know, we put our thing down, flipped it and reversed it, made some hush puppies with cornmeal, and festival with cornmeal and a little bit of sugar. Last but certainly not least, I mean, what do we even have to say? I don't care what you call it. Plantain, plantain, platanos. Just put that shit on my plate, you know?
I just want to sing like One Love. Is it Bob Marley? Let's get together and be alright. I'm trying not to be like Andy Bernard, but okay. You have to think like, who is the enemy? Like, because whenever I remember making this video about Tyla, and I remember being like so mad, of that girl, one of the TikTokers that I put in, being like so mad at her for saying what she said. But at the end of the day, now I'm just like, black people. What's the agenda? I always try to look behind it. I know, like, in your life you've been shown like this perspective of these people. You might not have all the education, because like, who wrote history in the first place? I've been very privileged to attend a university where I took some few modules, history modules, or you're learning African history through the perspective of Africa. So it's like history rewritten in a way, like it's like, damn, there's deeper things. You just know the Atlantic slave trade, like they go deeper than that, it's really interesting. So just knowing like who the enemy is, like focus on that, like, so instead of like attacking the person who's bleaching their skin, let's try to tackle the systems that are putting us in a place where we need to bleach our skin. I would almost see people that bleach their skin as victims, because it's like, oh love, you really don't know. You really at that self-hating, place. You're really hurting yourself. Like, yeah, I'm gonna pray for you, that's how I have to look at it, not be like, oh, you're a disgusting person, you are terrible, no. We really have also, like the anti-blackness that I was talking about, in our own countries, in our own communities, that we sometimes lead people into making that choice of bleaching their skin because of how we treat each other, how we treat people that have darker skin. So, and then we want to blame them after all. Ooh, empathy is everything. But anyway, yeah, Jerry's final thoughts. Do I think that diaspora wars, African or black diaspora wars, are gonna end? I think it's gonna begin to, especially with just trends. I don't know, this is kind of superficial, but like, those little social media trends that just bring black people, all of them together, like, in as much as it's like, like whatever, it's not real life, but it really does help, because I remember being back in South Africa, like, because the majority of people are black, no one really like looks at another black person like does the nod. But then I was watching Blackish, and then I saw that they were like, oh, black people in America, when they look at each other, they do that nod. And then I came to France, where we are the minority, black people are a minority. And then I started looking at other black people and giving them the nod, and they gave it back, or because I just saw it on like TV or something like that. So some things that are on social media or like on television do manifest into real life. And it felt so good, like being able to look at another black person, or maybe even a tourist, who's feeling a little bit lost. I can tell they don't understand French. Then I can just come up to them and be like, hey, do you need help? Just being there for each other. It's an amazing feeling. And it's so possible, and it just really makes a world a positive place. And that's what I really want to do with this video, that when you watch it, you really like, have a different perspective on how to approach each other online and offline. And that one day I'm sure we'll be just defending each other every damn time, as we did when what's her name, Halle Bailey was mermaid. Yeah, what she did. We came to defend that girl. Let's do the same for the Romeo and Juliet girl. Let's do that. Let's always do that. All of us together, But yeah, we can achieve so much if we do. Tell me what you guys think about this video down below. If there's other things I might have missed out, tell me. Some things that I've said wrong, tell me. Let's continue the discussion, because and the link to this wig is down below, because I know someone's gonna ask. I didn't really feel like laying my lace front. Like, sometimes you just don't have the time for that. You don't have the time for that. But anyway, see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.